Tinder went from 5,000 to 50 million users in only 2 years through word of mouth. That's no expensive ads and no sales reps. And I'm going to share with you how they did it and how you can implement their strategy and grow your company 2x, 5x, or 10x, maybe even higher. What's up, everyone? Your favorite CFO, Logan here from Forecaster. If you're a founder looking to learn from stories of other founders, then this video is going to be for you. Today, I'm going to be talking about the amazing go-to-market story of Tinder, and then covering my takeaways about how we can practically apply these learnings to our own businesses, all to level up as founders. But first, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so that I can bring you more CFO insights into what's happening in the venture markets and interesting business stories from the past, like the one that I'm going to be covering today. Let's dive in. When Tinder launched in 2012, the dating app market was already pretty crowded. You had heavyweights like Match.com or OkCupid dominating the scene. So in order to stand out, Tinder had two main innovations. The first innovation that they had was that they simplified the sign-up process. So instead of filling out a long and tedious form, you could just register with a single click on your Facebook profile. So there was no list of questions, no big questionnaires, just instant access. The second thing Tinder did was that they introduced a swipe feature. Now, this not only made the experience fun, but also added a layer of safety. You could only chat with somebody if you both swiped right on each other, and this reduced unwanted messages from strangers, which was kind of the norm in the dating scene back then. But innovation alone was not enough for Tinder. The product needed distribution. Now, to get users, one of the co-founders, Whitney Wolfe, had one of the greater marketing ideas of all time, in my opinion. She recognized early on that Tinder had to get girls downloading their app and that guys would follow anywhere that the girls went, not the other way around. If Tinder was able to get girls onto their app, the guys would follow. It was as simple as that. So in order to do this, Whitney Wolfe would go to chapters in her sorority and do her presentation, and all of the girls in the meetings would install the Tinder app. She would then go to the corresponding brother fraternity and have them all download the app, and then have them open it and see all of the girls that they know that are all on the app looking for matches. Tinder went from 5,000 to 15,000 users using this strategy by the time she finished her college tour. To continue leading in on this word-of-mouth strategy, Tinder would also go and throw these massive parties on college campuses, and then they would hire bouncers to stand at the door and literally check everyone's phones to make sure that they had downloaded the Tinder application and had created a profile. So in this way, to get into the coolest parties on campus, you literally had to be a Tinder user and you had to have a Tinder profile. The rest is history. The company only took 2 years to reach 50 million users. Now that's 15% of the entire US population. And they did all of this without paying for any paid ads, which makes it way more impressive. It's all just good old-fashioned word of mouth. Now, the story of Tinder is a very inspiring one, and there's a lot of really cool takeaways that can be learned from studying it. And today I'm going to cover my top takeaways from this story. My first takeaway is that sometimes you just need to think outside of the box in order to grow your company. Now, Tinder's growth strategy was fueled by somewhat unconventional methods like college parties and word of mouth. And sometimes the most effective strategies for your particular business aren't the traditional growth strategies. So here are 3 simple ways that we can apply this logic to our own businesses. First and foremost, we can encourage cross-functional collaboration in our business. Now, to do this, we're going to need to break down silos within our own organizations and encourage collaboration between different departments. Now, this can lead to innovative ideas and solutions that wouldn't otherwise emerge in individual isolated teams. In order to do this, you're going to want to organize regular brainstorming sessions or innovation workshops where team members from diverse departments like marketing, engineering, design, customer support, all of that, they can all come together to share their perspectives and generate creative solutions to business challenges. You can implement tools like Slack or Trello in order to facilitate the ongoing cross-departmental conversation and communication for idea sharing. Number 2, you can foster a culture of experimentation and risk-taking within your organization. And I think that this is very, very key for startups that are looking to break the mold and really grow in a big way. Create an environment where employees feel safe to experiment with new ideas and throw out new ideas, no matter how crazy they may sound. You want them to not feel like they're going to be made fun of or be afraid to throw their ideas out. You can adopt a philosophy of fail fast but learn faster approach by setting up a process for rapidly prototyping prototyping and testing new ideas. You can allocate a portion of your budget specifically for experimental projects. And you can celebrate and share learnings from both successful and unsuccessful experiments and highlight the value of innovation within your organization. And it's especially important to highlight the failures, because if you celebrate failures in the same way that you celebrate wins, everybody is going to feel empowered to come up to the plate and give their ideas a fair shot. And number 3, we can try to seek inspiration from unrelated industries. To do this, you're going to want to look beyond your industry for inspiration and innovative ideas that can be adopted to your business. So often breakthroughs come from applying concepts from one field into an entirely different field. So to do this, you can host innovation days where team members research and present how different industries solve similar problems. For instance, a software company might study the hospitality industry's approach to customer service, or a retail business might look at how a tech sector uses data for analytics. Encourage employees to attend conferences, webinars, networking events outside of their specific industry, and this is a great way to gain fresh perspectives. My second takeaway from the Tinder story is that you should prioritize product and user experience first. So you want to focus on creating an amazing product that solves real problems. And a great user experience is going to turn customers into evangelists. And here are 3 strategies that we can use in our businesses in order to make sure that this happens for us. First thing that we can do is focus on continuous user development and iteration. You want to continuously gather feedback from your users through surveys, interviews, and usability tests. Then you want to implement the changes based off this feedback in order to ensure that the product is meeting the user's needs and expectations. So for example, you can conduct a regular user testing session with real users and have them interact with your product in real time. And then you can use tools like user testing or Hotjar to collect qualitative and quantitative feedback and analyze that feedback and prioritize improvements that enhance the overall user experience. Number 2, we can simplify the onboarding process as much as possible. What you want to do is you want to create the process of becoming a customer in your app as easy as you possibly can. So you want to ensure that the onboarding process for new users is as simple and seamless as possible in order to achieve that. So you want to remove unnecessary steps and forms just like Tinder did, and barriers that could frustrate or deter users from getting started. For example, you can implement a single sign-on or SSO using popular platforms like Google or Facebook or Apple, things like that, just to make things a little bit easier. Now, this is going to reduce the friction in creating a new account. And additionally, it's going to provide a guided tour, a tutorial that highlights really key features and helps the users quickly understand and get from 0 to 1, use the product effectively. Now, a good analogy here is video games. So if you've ever played a video game, one of the cool things that you'll notice is that for the first 10 minutes of playing the video game, you think that you're playing the video game, but in all actuality, the video game is literally teaching you how to play the game. So whenever you go and fight the bad guys, it'll say press A to punch or something like that. And you think that you're playing the game, and you are playing the game, but it's actually teaching you how to play the game while you're playing the game. You want to adopt this similar mindset to your business whenever it comes to onboarding new customers. And number 3, you're going to want to prioritize a high quality design and usability for every aspect of your product. Now, this is going to include intuitive navigation, really visually appealing interfaces, and a responsive design that works really seamlessly across all of the different devices that your clients are going to be using it. So for example, you want to employ a dedicated design team or collaborate with a professional designer in order to create a really visual, cohesive, and user-friendly interface. And then you're going to conduct regular usability test sessions with your customers to identify pain points and areas of improvements. You're going to want to look for areas where your customers get stuck. Get for an area where they're using the app and then they have to pause to try to figure out what to do next. That should be your signal for trying to zoom in and solve that problem and understand what is the blocker in this particular part of my application or my software that is causing users to take pause and try to figure out what to do next. Which brings me to my third and final takeaway from the Tinder story, which is know your audience. And I think Tinder did this absolutely beautifully well. Tinder nailed their ideal customer profile, which in their case was college students. They built their entire strategy around this demographic, and they did not get distracted by anything else or try to appeal to anybody else that was not in their ideal customer profile. And this is so important. So to do this, here are 3 strategies that we can all use. Number 1, we need to develop really detailed user personas. So create a comprehensive user persona that represents the different segments of your target audience. So these personas could include demographic information, behaviors, preferences, challenges, goals, hobbies, anything that really zooms in on your core target user. For example, we could conduct market research and gather data from existing users to create existing personas like tech-savvy Tina, who's maybe a 25-year-old digital native who loves trying new apps, or maybe somebody like traditional Tim, who's a 40-year-old who really values simplicity and reliability in the technology that they use. But you can use these personas to try to guide product development and marketing strategies to make sure that your messaging is a dead hit for the persona that you are trying to market and sell to. Number 2, we can engage in social listening and community engagement. We can actively monitor social media platforms, forums, and online communities where our target audience spends a lot of their time. So we will pay attention to their conversations, feedback, and the issues that they actually care about. So for example, we can use social listening tools like Brandwatch or Hootsuite to track mentions in your product and industry-leading keywords just to stay really up to date on what is going on in our specific segment. We can also join online communities and forums and participate in discussions just to make sure that we are seen as a thought leader as well. So it's going to help you understand your audience's needs and their preferences in real time and adjust accordingly. And number 3, we can analyze user data and behavior analytics through everything that we do in our app. So we can leverage analytics tools to gather insights about how users interact with our product. And we can analyze user data to identify patterns and preferences and pain points and things like that. So for example, we can use tools like Google Analytics or Mixpanel or Amplitude, where people are actually clicking in our app. Which features are they using? How are they using features? What do the click paths look like? And what we can do is we can look at the top users that we have. So the people that we want everybody that uses our software to look like, and we can analyze their behaviors. Then we can map the user experience to try to get everybody to replicate the exact behaviors that our best users use in our application. So there you are. Those are the 3 biggest takeaways that I took from Tinder's go-to-market strategy. But I'm really curious to hear, what are your all's biggest takeaways? Add your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear from everybody watching this video what they think about Tinder's go-to-market strategy. And if you want to hear more of a CFO's insights on what's going on in the venture market, or maybe get my take on cool and interesting business stories like the Tinder story that we covered today, I'm going to be dropping a ton of free content on here on YouTube. So go ahead, like the video, subscribe to my channel, maybe even hit the bell to get notified every time that I drop new content here on YouTube. And if you want to learn more about fundraising and finance and how metrics can help you run a better company, head on over to Forecaster's website, meet with one of our team members. We would love to show you what we are all about over here at Forecaster. Until then, keep building, and we'll talk soon.